Youngstown is found where your city used to be. So out of the darkness and into the light.
Hey everybody, hope you can hear me. I'm in Yoda 2. I am traveling and I'm done with work today. Thank God. Oh man, thank goodness I'm done today. Tunnel time. Well, anyways, hey, I hope you're having a good day. My phone holder is directly in line of my path forward, so I feel like I'm not distracted at all. And I've done a lot of pickup preaching throughout the years. I've spent a lot of time in my vehicle because I work in the cities and I work hard. I'm a laborer, I'm a machine operator, and I'm telling you guys, this week I'll post some pictures. As you can see outside, the air quality in Minnesota is the second worst in the country with 350, however they rate that. It's 350. Detroit is 600 something. I think Detroit's first, we're second, and then I think Toronto was like 298 or something like that. So we have some of the worst air quality in the nation, and my eyes are burning. The heat, and it's 95 to 100 degrees every day, and I don't know if you guys have ever done manual labor, machine operating, concrete, stuff like that outside. Man, it is tough in the summer. I got a really cool boss. My boss is awesome. My coworkers are awesome. And you know what? I learned something new today. Did you know that you could eat a kiwi with the skin on? A little shout out to my boy Justin, my coworker Justin, my foreman. Man, he taught me today that you can eat a kiwi with the skin on. I got in the work truck this morning. I had to drive with him to the job site because it's all the way out in like dang near Wisconsin. I get in the truck, I open up my little Playmate cooler, my little cooler. I brought my cooler with my lunch and everything in it, and I whip out a kiwi. I get all set up. I got a little peeler. I start peeling my kiwi, and the dude's like, "Hey, what are you doing that for? Like, you don't need to do that." I'm like, ha! I'm like, are you kidding me? I am not eating a kiwi with the skin on. He's like, no, serious, check this out. I learned a few years ago, my buddy told me that you could eat a kiwi with the skin on, and so I tried it, and it wasn't that bad. I'm like, dude, I am not trying to eat a kiwi with the skin on. He's like, no, just try it. Trust me. And when my buddy Justin says trust me, I'm like, okay, I gotta give it to you. He's come through time and time again. So I tried a little bite with the skin on, and the skin, it's so thin, and it kind of gets mushed up with the heart and the meat of the fruit. It just kind of goes down easy, and I'm like, dang, dude, you're right. So today I learned you can eat a kiwi with the skin on. So let me tell you guys a little something about internal dialogue. You want to be stern with self. Remember that, stern with self. But you want to have a corrective tone, not abusive with yourself, okay? Your internal tone is going to tell you a lot about how you treat other people and how you look at the world, okay? Self-awareness in life is super important. We all know people who are not that self-aware. They don't really care to reflect or be, real perspective about things. But listen to this, okay? Your self-dialogue and your self-tone should be corrective, not abusive, okay? It's like taking a self-inventory. Those of us in recovery have had to take inventory a lot. If you didn't take inventory, you're not progressing in recovery, because that is definitely one of the steps to getting to a successful place in recovery, okay? It's all about discipline. And it's all about your internal tone and how you speak to yourself, okay? I know a lot of people who are very easy on themselves. I myself am easy on myself sometimes. You gotta hit that snooze button. I don't want to get up. I'm gonna cheat a little and have a little snack, a little sweets before bed. We always tell ourselves in active recovery, we tell ourselves, well, I can't get rid of everything. That's why people, they smoke cigarettes, they drink their coffee, they chew their tobacco, they have their sweets, they have their candy, and we always hear it in meetings. Well, you gotta hang on to something, can't get rid of everything, ain't perfect. Well, what if we tried to actually be better at that, right? And your internal tone wasn't so easy, it's soft on yourself, right? So when you take that self-inventory, look at where you're cutting corners and see and try hard not to hit the snooze button on them moments, right? So tonight when I get down and I'm all tuckered out from work, and you've got 40 hours in and you're tired, and you got one more day of work this week and you're just tired, and yada yada yada. Don't be easy on yourself, but don't be abusive either. Be corrective. My man Taylor Kavanaugh, who some of you guys may know on YouTube, I took a break from his channel for about a year, but I was one of his initial first subscribers. Taylor Kavanaugh, TCAP TV. He was a Navy SEAL, and then he was a French Legionnaire. Now, anybody who knows military or knows that sort of life with the teams and stuff, that's serious business. They don't just let anybody in the SEALs, and especially the French Foreign Legion. They don't just let anybody in. But you know what? Taylor was at his wits' ends with addiction, alcohol, drugs, bad behavior, and he thought, you know what? I need a change. I need something in my life that's gonna set me in a different trajectory. And so he went into the French. He just showed up. That's what you do with the French Foreign Legion. There is no application. There is no calling and setting up a schedule or appointment. You just show up there, right? In France, you just show up, and they go through a bunch of tests like you wouldn't believe, and then they either keep you on board or they kick you to the curb and you're done. Like, they take your passport, they give you a different identity, they give you a French identity. It's pretty crazy, and you got to speak French. And so, anyways, I listened to Taylor because I know he knows what he's talking about. He's a serious dude. He's been in the teams and he's been in the French Foreign Legion. He's jacked. He's got a lot of tattoos. He's been through it, right? And he has the wisdom, and he speaks the wisdom. And so I'll share one of his videos that I watched recently that kind of remind me of where I need to be in my recovery and how I need to be corrective, not abusive with myself, because I am very, very, very hard on myself. Sometimes to the point where I'll dig myself a hole because I don't feel like I'm doing something right. You know, like I could be a better father, could be a better this, could be a better that. And I've changed a lot in the last couple of years too. The last couple of years have been really difficult for me. I was at a point, and not difficult in the way of like I'm going to use drugs or alcohol, but difficult because I couldn't figure out who I was. I was going through a little bit of an identity crisis, right? Like, you know, 6 years ago, I was 310 pounds. I had short hair. I was just bloated, and I thought that's who I was. I thought sitting around all weekend watching movies with Marissa was my life. I thought getting home and watching TV was my life. I thought catching the latest, you know, episode of Survivor was my life. Watching people succeed and watching people do hard things and telling myself, oh, I could do that if I wanted to, but I never did. And so one time I just decided to change my life, right? And it all started with me quitting drinking alcohol. I quit using drugs in August of 2011. I haven't used drugs since. I haven't felt the need to do a needle. I haven't felt the need to do a pipe. I haven't felt the need to snort a line or to take a pill or to do anything like that to correct my life. I'm happy with who I am today, and it's taken me the last couple of years to recognize that. I was very hard on myself. I always thought I am where I am today because of my own decisions. And once I come to terms with that and decided that, you know what, I am where I am today because of my decisions. And I'm proud of the decisions that I've made. Yes, I've made a lot of mistakes. Yes, I've mucked up a few times. And yes, I haven't always said or done the right thing in my life. But you know what? I'm happy with me. I know I've burnt a lot of bridges in my life, but going forward in the last couple of years, I've cherished the relationships that I have now because I know that they're valuable and they're worth working on. There are just some people in our lives that we have to cut loose. We have to have boundaries. Recovery is built on boundaries. If you don't have boundaries and you let people walk all over you and you walk all over other people, that's not a way to live, right? People in your life should be positive, right? And if you find people that aren't in your life that aren't positive, you have to get rid of them. You become who you surround yourself with. So if you're always hanging out with skeptical people, you're going to be skeptical. If you're always hanging out around cynical people who nothing is ever good enough for them, that's what you're going to do. But you know what? That's what they're telling themselves. So this internal dialogue that I talk about, when it's not just about recovery, because I've noticed that people that aren't in recovery could have better internal tones. And of course, I don't know how people talk to themselves because I'm not in their head, but you put out what you put in, right? If you're cynical and skeptical with yourself and you don't have any self-confidence and you're just okay hitting the snooze button and you have no discipline and your self-awareness is shit, that says a lot about what you're going to put out, right? So being stern with self doesn't mean that you're being abusive or being mean to yourself. It means that you're corrective. It means that you're looking for the next place in your life to do the next right thing. Not the easiest thing, not the most opportune thing, but the next right thing. And sometimes doing the next right thing, it isn't easy. Of course it isn't easy. Nothing's easy when it's correct or when it's right? But those are the times that you're going to build self-growth. Those are the times that your inventory is going to shine, and you're going to be like, you know what? Damn, I had a pretty good month. I had a pretty good week. I had a pretty good day. You know why? It's because you're putting out what you're putting in, and you're telling yourself that you can do it. You're being positive. You're being corrective instead of abusive with yourself. Don't tell yourself that you can't do these things. The more you tell yourself that you can't do something, that sets a tone and a perspective and a lens. And that lens, you're going to end up looking at life through, saying, well, not good enough. Not. I wouldn't do that. You know what? Don't have time for it. In life, we're constantly changing. In life, we're always constantly evolving. We're spiritually growing. We're physically growing. We want to be better people. We want to eat good, be good, act good, speak good, and that includes our internal dialogue. I hope that helps you guys. I don't make these videos because I think they're going to get a lot of views. I make them because I know that there's somebody out there that needs to hear this, and perhaps when they need to hear it, they'll hear it. And maybe you don't need to hear it from me in order to do it. Maybe you just need to put this in your bank, in your think bank, and then maybe one day you're going to think, oh, you know what, Lefty said something in that video that is actually coming true now, and I think I'm going to try that. So I'm not trying to make your life instantly better. My life didn't get instantly better, okay? It took a while. The last couple years have been really difficult for me. I have now lost my second marriage in my life because I wasn't somebody that somebody said that I should be. You know what I mean? And that's a hard thing to live up to, right? When you're not somebody that people think you should be. You know what I mean? I took a year off of working and I tried to go to school full time and it didn't work. Even though I had the blessing of the people around me, the people around me were like, yeah, do that. Go to school. Get your degree. Be a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. So what did I do? I dropped everything. I started to go to school. And then what did I get hit with? I got hit with a divorce because I wasn't providing enough money. I wasn't financially providing. Well, you told me to go to school, so I went to school, and then all of a sudden that's not good enough. Those are the type of people that I'm trying to get out of my life. Although I respect my ex-wife, I respect what she wants. She wants to be happy just like me, and I'm not there. I'm not my life, my image, who I am, what I do, what I speak, my videos. None of that speaks to her. I don't have her love language, but I know that I'm on the right track because I am where I am today because of the choices that I've made. And the choices that I've made haven't always seemed like the right ones at the time, but I've stuck to it. Stuck-to-itiveness, right? Stick-to-itiveness, I think that's a word. They use it in recovery a lot. It's persistence. It's consistency. It's perseverance. It's dedication. It's commitment. It's loyalty. It's doing the next right thing one day at a time and surrounding myself with people who aren't yes people and who aren't always telling me what I want to hear. I have very little people in my life that tell me what I want to hear or are yes people. But I also have a lot of encouraging people, and those same people who are cynical and skeptical are encouraging at times too. We all have our good days or bad days. I don't want to ramble on too long, but listen, my friends, recovery comes to those who are seeking it. So if you're lazy and you're cutting corners and you're the person who's hitting the snooze button and I just want to sleep in, just want to, that sort of thing, I'm trying to get out of that routine myself. And I notice it and I recognize it, and I'm one of the people in my life that says, I can do it. I'm good. I got this, right? Trying to be positive. Be obnoxiously positive with yourself. It's contagious, right? It permeates throughout. Other people are going to want to see that. They need it too, just like people on the job site, One person gets all crabby and down, and then boom, the next person's crabby and down. And then before you know it, you got 2 or 3 or 4 people on the crew that are all bitching and then complaining about how, today sucks, blah, blah, blah. Well, think about this. Think about if you had said, oh, today is great. Even though we got a little bit of heat, we got a little bit of smoke, we're going to get through this, guys. Well, that's contagious too. Love you guys. God bless you. Be well out there. Be brave. Be sober. Hit today head on. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be strife. There's going to be things that happen in our lives that we can't control. That's life, my friends. Not everything is within our control, and that doesn't need to be. But as long as we stay strong, we stay adamant to stay positive and adamant that we can do this, we're going to be able to do it. Got a little bit of a thing going on this weekend called Full Tilt Boogie out in Wisconsin. I'm thinking about going out there with some friends of mine on our motorcycles. Sounds like a great time. I've never been to Full Tilt Boogie. I think it's in Haggard City or something like that over in Wisconsin. So if I see you out there, cool. If I don't, that's cool too. Have a good weekend. Have a good day. We got our weekly recovery video coming up on Saturday or Sunday. I'll fill you in then, and with the vlog and all that. I'm sure I'll bring my GoPro with. So God bless you guys. Love you. Lefty out. Onward.